Alara adjusted the strap of her pack as the shuttle's doors opened, revealing the soft glow of Lunara. The light here was not like Earth's sunlight. It was gentle, almost musical, and it shimmered off the tall crystalline towers that rose like frozen waterfalls from the ground. Even before stepping off the shuttle, she felt a calm energy, as if the planet itself was alive and watching her with quiet curiosity. She had trained for years for this moment, but nothing in her studies had prepared her for the beauty and peace of Lunara. The sky pulsed with shades of teal and lavender, and every plant seemed to emit a faint melodic hum when the wind brushed against it. Her mission was simple in words but enormous in reality: to study the Allurians, establish peaceful contact, and bring back knowledge that could help humanity understand intelligent life beyond Earth. As she stepped onto the smooth surface, the ground beneath her boots felt slightly warm, and she noticed tiny ripples of light running along it, responding to her movement. A soft voice echoed in her communicator. "Welcome to Lunara, Dr. Alara Ven," said Commander Hiran's voice, careful and calm. "The Allurians are awaiting you at the central plaza. Remember, patience is key. They do not respond to force or urgency." Alara nodded, though the commander could not see her. She tucked the communicator into her pocket and allowed herself a deep breath. Humans often tried to impose their speed on the universe. She had learned the hard way that Lunara had its own rhythm. The plaza came into view, surrounded by the crystal towers that refracted the glowing light into hundreds of rainbows. And there, standing with grace that seemed to bend the light around her, was Lysara, the alien queen. She was taller than any human, with skin that shimmered softly like mother of pearl. Her eyes were deep and dark yet gentle, and she held a small child in her arms. The child's skin was pale blue, and tiny points of light floated along its arms like fireflies. Alara's first thought was awe. The Allurians were beyond anything she had imagined. Their elegance and calm presence seemed almost unreal. The child, however, was restless. Small waves of energy pulsed from it, and Alara instinctively felt a twinge of discomfort. The energy was not threatening, but it was intense, chaotic, and difficult to ignore. Lysara's voice cut through Alara's thoughts. "Dr. Alara Ven," she said softly, "you have come far. Will you come closer?" Alara stepped forward, her boots barely making a sound on the smooth surface. She noticed how the light responded to her movement, flickering gently like a curtain of colors. "I am honored, Queen Lysara," she said. Lysara smiled, a slow, serene smile. "I will speak plainly," she said. "My child is restless. None of my people can calm it. I have watched you from afar. There is something in you, a patience, a sensitivity that we have not seen. If you can soothe my child, I will offer you a place here among us, a chance to learn and share knowledge beyond your imagination." Alara froze. The offer was unexpected, almost unbelievable. I would be honored," she said, though her voice carried more uncertainty than she would have liked. The child wriggled in Lysara's arms, and a wave of bright energy shot toward Alara, brushing against her like a cold wind. Her heart skipped a beat. This was not just a baby in the human sense. Its emotions radiated outward almost like a small storm contained in fragile form. Lysara handed the child to her. "Try," she said simply. "Do not rush, listen." Alara took the child carefully. The moment her hands touched its skin, she felt the waves of emotion more strongly. Confusion, curiosity, and frustration collided in the small being. It began to hum softly, a high-pitched note that vibrated through her fingers. She closed her eyes and let her own breath match the rhythm of the child. Slowly, deliberately, she shifted her thoughts to calmness, sending quiet signals of safety and patience. The hum wavered, then steadied. The child's tiny body relaxed slightly. Lysara watched quietly, her face unreadable. Other Allurians appeared at the edges of the plaza, their forms glowing faintly, observing. They said nothing. They simply watched. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. Alara experimented, matching her voice to the child's hum, moving her hands in slow arcs, creating small waves of calming energy. Gradually, the child's pulses softened, the light on its skin glowing steadily instead of flickering in bursts. And then something extraordinary happened. The child reached for her face with tiny hands, brushing its soft fingers along her cheek. A wave of warmth passed through her, like the first sunlight after a long winter. It was not just affection, it was recognition, understanding, trust. Lysara stepped forward. You have done more than Comet, she said, her voice filled with wonder. You have connected. You have touched its heart in a way none of us could. You are extraordinary human. Ilara felt her cheeks flush, but she also felt an unshakable certainty. Here on a world so different from Earth, she had found a bridge, a connection between species that might redefine everything humans knew about empathy and understanding. The child cooed, leaning against her shoulder, and she laughed softly. It was a pure, joyful sound, one that made the strange energy of the child feel less like a storm and more like a gentle song. She realized that this moment, this simple act of understanding, was more powerful than any scientific discovery she could have imagined. Lysara extended a hand. Come, she said. Walk with me. There is much for you to see, much for you to learn. But first, rest. The child will sleep now, and you may feel the rhythm of our city, our lives. Ilara followed, still holding the small being. As they walked, she noticed how the ground pulsed in quiet harmony with the child's calm breathing. Even the light seemed to shift in gentle waves, as if welcoming her presence. The Illyrians around them moved gracefully, never intruding but always near, like guardians of a sacred balance. She asked, Is it always like this? Do your children communicate through energy? Lysara nodded. All of us do in some way. We are connected to the world around us, but each child is unique. Some are easier to understand, some require patience, like your own species requires patience to learn our ways. Ilara smiled. I suppose it's the same with humans. Every child is different. Every heart is its own universe. Lysara's eyes glimmered. And yet, when one understands even a single heart, they understand something of the universe. They reached a crystal pavilion at the center of the city. Its walls shimmered with a soft golden light, and inside the energy of Lunara felt warmer, quieter, almost like a protective embrace. Lysara set the child down gently on a soft, glowing mat. The child curled into a ball, still humming faintly but clearly at peace. Ilara sat beside it, feeling its tiny pulses echoing lightly against her own heartbeat. She realized that this was more than a test. It was the beginning of a new understanding, a bridge between two species built on patience, trust, and gentle empathy. Lysara watched them both, her expression unreadable, but her presence commanding. Rest now, she said. Tomorrow we begin the true journey. Today you have shown that a human heart can reach places no technology or knowledge could alone. That is rare. That is valuable. That is worthy. Ilara nodded, overwhelmed. She looked at the child, then back at the queen. I will do my best, she whispered. You already have, Lysara said softly. The rest is learning, sharing, and being open to the universe as it is. You will see, human. This world is alive in ways you cannot yet imagine, and it will teach you more than any classroom, any library, or any starship ever could. Ilara leaned back slightly, letting the hum of Lunara's energy wash over her. The child shifted closer to her, and for the first time in her life she felt completely part of something larger, something connected, something beyond words. It was not just the planet or the aliens. It was the feeling of trust, of understanding, of shared presence, something that transcended species, space, and time. As the twin moons of Lunara rose above the crystalline towers, casting gentle shadows and reflections across the plaza, Ilara closed her eyes and allowed herself a moment of quiet wonder. Tomorrow, she knew, would bring challenges, discoveries, and lessons she could not yet imagine. But tonight she had learned one thing with absolute clarity. Even across galaxies, a human heart could touch the stars, and with that thought, she felt the child's hand in hers, a small, warm pulse of life that whispered of a bond that would shape not just her mission, but the future of humanity among the stars. Morning on Lunara arrived quietly. The twin moons had vanished below the horizon, leaving behind a soft glow that bathed the city in pale teal light. Ilara woke to the gentle hum of the pavilion. The child lay nearby, still asleep, its tiny chest rising and falling in a slow rhythm. She realized she had spent the night in a way she never had before, immersed in the subtle energy of another world, surrounded by life that seemed both alien and familiar. Lysara entered without sound, her presence calm and commanding. Good morning, Ilara, she said softly. The child slept well. So have you, I hope. Ilara rose, brushing her hands over her simple uniform. I did. The energy, it's unlike anything I've ever felt. It's peaceful but alive, almost like it's breathing with the city itself. Lysara smiled faintly. It is alive. Everything here has a rhythm, a pulse. If you listen carefully, you can feel it. If you respect it, it will respond. Come, there is much to show you today. The pavilion's doors opened to reveal a city full of light and motion, yet completely calm. The streets were lined with crystal towers, their surfaces shimmering in the soft daylight. Small winged creatures glided effortlessly, leaving trails of soft luminescence that faded slowly into the air. Humans might have called them birds, but they seemed more like living notes of music, part of the city's symphony rather than separate beings. Ilara followed Lysara as she walked gracefully, her long steps silent on the smooth ground. Other Aelurians appeared, observing without interrupting, moving with the same quiet elegance. The air itself seemed lighter, as if it welcomed the humans without question. Lysara led her to a large hall filled with children. Each one radiated gentle pulses of light, some flickering quickly, others flowing smoothly. A soft hum filled the air, almost musical in quality. The children's energies intertwined, creating patterns that Ilara could feel as much as see. These are our young, Lysara explained. They communicate through energy, and they learn the ways of our people from birth. Harmony, patience, and empathy are our most important lessons. Each child has a unique rhythm. To understand them, one must pay attention, not rush, and respect their space. Ilara crouched to observe the children closely. Even from a distance, she could sense their emotions: curiosity, joy, confusion, excitement. It reminded her of human children, yet the way their feelings moved through the air, visible and tangible, was entirely new. One child's pulse shimmered in soft green waves, another in gentle orange sparks. Lysara placed a hand on Ilara's shoulder. Try to feel their rhythm. Don't think. Listen with your heart as you did with my child. Ilara closed her eyes, letting her awareness expand. Slowly, she began to sense the waves of emotion, subtle at first, then more distinct. One child's frustration felt like a small storm, and she instinctively mirrored a calm energy, sending quiet reassurance. The storm softened, fading into gentle ripples. The child's eyes brightened, and it reached for her, then hesitated, unsure. She smiled and whispered softly, letting her human voice carry warmth without force. Lysara watched silently. See? Connection does not need words. It needs understanding, patience, presence. Ilara nodded. It's amazing. Each one is different, but I can feel similarities too. Patterns, reactions to care. Yes, Lysara said. Humans are strong in this way. You notice subtle changes, small shifts that we might overlook. That is why you were able to reach my child. The day passed in a rhythm unlike any Ilara had experienced on Earth. She followed Lysara through the city, observing schools where children learned not through lectures or books, but through experience and connection. In one hall, children floated small spheres of light, guiding them through patterns that built coordination, balance, and understanding of energy. In another, children sat quietly, sensing each other's pulses, learning to harmonize. Ilara tried to participate, cautiously at first. She mirrored the children's energy, letting her own calm radiate outward. At first, her pulses were uneven, too forceful, but the children seemed patient, curious rather than impatient. Slowly, she learned to match their rhythm, and the spheres of light she guided began to move smoothly, forming elegant shapes. Lysara's eyes gleamed faintly with pride. You are learning quickly, she said. But remember, it is not skill alone. It is openness. Understanding the heart behind the energy, Ilara smiled. I think I'm beginning to understand. It's like reading without words, feeling without touch, Lysara nodded. Exactly. You are learning the language of Lunara. As the day progressed, Ilara found herself drawn to the children more than anything else. Each one had a personality that shone through in their energy. One playful child pulsed in quick bursts like sparks and would dart around, giggling in a soundless melody. Another was shy, its light dim and hesitant. Yet when Ilara reached out with quiet energy, it slowly brightened. The lessons were not simple. Sometimes the energy clashed, waves overlapping in confusion. Other times, Ilara felt completely drained, her human mind struggling to keep up with the constant subtle signals. But with each moment, she discovered more about the children, the Aelurians, and herself. She realized that her human capacity for empathy, patience, and improvisation gave her advantages even the Aelurians admired. During a quiet break in the day, Lysara led Alara to a terrace overlooking a crystalline river that flowed through the city. Light danced across the water in soft arcs, reflecting the energy of the city around it. The alien queen gestured for Alara to sit beside her. "Tell me, Alara," Lysara said softly, "how does it feel to be here, to understand in ways you never imagined?" Alara hesitated, trying to find words. "It's humbling and incredible. I feel like I've been seeing the world through a keyhole my entire life, and now someone opened the door wide. I understand more than I did, but I also realize how much I do not know. And yet the child and the others, I feel like I can reach them. And in that reaching, I learn too." Lysara's eyes softened. "That is the essence of connection. Not mastery, not knowledge alone, but understanding and respect. You have touched the heart of our people through empathy, something rare and precious." Alara looked down at her hands, still glowing faintly from the child's energy she had absorbed. She felt a strange warmth, a sense of purpose beyond her scientific mission. She was no longer just an observer. She was part of something alive, a participant in a world that valued harmony and care as much as intellect. By evening, the children had gathered near the central plaza again, their energy pulses soft and steady. The playful one darted toward her, sparking bursts of light that danced along her arms. She laughed quietly, guiding it gently back into calm waves. The shy child approached slowly, finally reaching her hand, a gesture of trust and acceptance. Lysara watched from a distance. "You see, humans can teach patience and care, and we can teach understanding. Together we can grow stronger." Alara nodded, realizing that this journey was bigger than she had imagined. She was not only learning about an alien species, but discovering something fundamental about humanity itself. Humans were capable of connection, of empathy that crossed boundaries, of trust that could reach even the stars. As the twin moons of Lunara rose once more, casting silver shadows across the crystalline towers, Alara felt a quiet sense of achievement. She had calmed not just a child, but a part of an entire community. And more than that, she had bridged a gap between species through understanding and patience. The queen approached her once more, speaking softly. "You have done well today. Tomorrow you will learn more, deeper things, but tonight, rest. The city, the children, and even my child, they are at peace because of you. That is a gift you must cherish." Alara smiled, watching the children drift into quiet waves of energy. For the first time in her life, she felt truly connected. Not only to another species, but to the universe itself. This was a place where humans could shine, not through strength or technology, but through the heart, their ability to feel, to care, and to understand. And as she lay down to rest that night, she knew the journey had only just begun. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new lessons, and new connections. But tonight she allowed herself a rare feeling, joy at being human and pride in what humanity could offer the stars. The next morning, Alara awoke to the soft glow of Lunara's twin suns peeking over the crystalline towers. The city was alive with energy, yet calm. Even the hum of the children seemed steadier than yesterday, as if the bond she had formed with them had left an invisible mark on the entire place. She stretched and prepared herself for what Lysara had called deeper lessons. As she walked through the central plaza, the child she had calmed greeted her with a small pulse of light, wrapping its tiny hands around her wrist. She smiled and returned the gesture, matching its rhythm. It was no longer restless. Instead, it seemed content, curious, and playful. Lysara approached, her presence as calm and commanding as always. "Today," she said softly, "you will learn more about our culture, our values, and the ways we teach our young. You must see with more than eyes, hear with more than ears, and feel with more than touch. You must understand the heart behind every action." Alara nodded, intrigued. She had already begun to understand the basics, but the queen's words hinted at something deeper, something she had not yet fully grasped. Lysara led her through winding corridors and shimmering bridges, eventually arriving at a large hall filled with children engaged in a unique form of learning. Some floated spheres of light, guiding them through intricate patterns, while others sat quietly, connecting through subtle pulses of energy. Each child's energy was distinct, and the hall was alive with overlapping rhythms, creating a symphony of feeling. "These are our most advanced learners," Lysara explained. "Here, children practice harmony and empathy, learning to sense and respond to the emotions of others. They grow not only in skill but in understanding. Observe carefully, human. Notice not only the patterns but the intention behind them. Ilara crouched at the edge of the hall, closing her eyes to focus. Slowly she began to feel the waves of energy, noticing subtle differences in tone, brightness, and pulse. One child's frustration flickered like a stormy wave, while another radiated curiosity in gentle arcs of green light. She sent quiet signals of calm, letting her own rhythm blend with theirs. Gradually, the chaotic pulses softened, and the children began to harmonize naturally. Lysara's voice, soft and almost musical, spoke beside her. You are learning quickly. Humans have a unique ability to adapt, to sense and respond to emotion. It is rare in the universe, and it is your gift. Ilara smiled, feeling a warmth that had nothing to do with the twin suns. It feels natural somehow, like I'm part of something bigger than myself. Yes, Lysara said. And that is the essence of understanding, not controlling, not judging, but joining. When one heart joins another in trust, the universe opens in ways no knowledge alone can achieve. After some time, Lysara guided Ilara to a quieter area of the hall. Here, children practiced creating energy patterns that told stories. Waves of color, light, and pulse formed shapes that expressed emotions, memories, and lessons. Some patterns were playful, others somber, yet all communicated meaning without words. Ilara knelt beside a small child, attempting a pattern. The colors flickered unevenly, frustration visible in the pulses. She reached out carefully, matching the child's rhythm with her own, sending a quiet message of patience. Slowly, the colors steadied, forming a smooth arc of gentle blue and gold. The child's face lit up, and its tiny hands twitched with excitement. You see, Lysara said softly, humans can guide with empathy. You do not impose. You help them find balance themselves. That is a rare skill. Ilara felt a sense of pride, but it was quiet, gentle. She was not conquering a challenge. She was connecting, teaching, learning, and participating in something alive. Later, Lysara led her to an outdoor area where children were practicing shared energy exercises. They formed small circles, each child sending waves of light and emotion that intertwined with the others. The result was a living tapestry of energy, shifting and changing like a river of color. You must try, Lysara said. Do not fear mistakes. They are part of learning. Feel, respond, and harmonize. Ilara stepped into the circle, taking a deep breath. She focused on the pulse of the child beside her. Then the next and the next. Her human heart, her patience, and her empathy guided the flow. At first, her rhythm wavered, misaligning with the children's waves. But slowly she adjusted, matching the subtleties of each pulse. Colors flowed smoothly, forming intricate, beautiful patterns. The children smiled, and even the shy ones brightened, drawn to her calm presence. Lysara observed quietly. See what patience and understanding can do? You have touched more than one heart. You have touched a community. Ilara felt a thrill of joy unlike anything she had experienced before. Her human intuition, her ability to feel and respond, had created harmony in an alien world. It was proof, she realized, that humanity had something unique to offer. Not weapons, not technology, but hearts capable of empathy, trust, and care. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the city, Lysara led her to a quiet terrace overlooking Lunara's crystal rivers. The light shimmered off the water, reflecting the energy of the city like a living mirror. You are learning quickly, Lysara said, but there is more to understand. Your connection with my child is important, but the true test is in understanding our culture, our people, and the ways in which we live in harmony. You must see not only what we do, but why we do it. Ilara nodded. I want to understand everything. I feel like there is so much to learn, and yet it feels natural to be here. Yes, Lysara said. Natural because connection is the foundation of life. Even in the vast universe, empathy and understanding are universal forces. You have begun to grasp this, human. Tomorrow you will learn to guide others, not just one child. Ilara felt a thrill and a sense of responsibility. Guiding more than one child at a time would be challenging, yet she realized that humans were capable of adaptation, patience, and leadership in unexpected ways. This was a chance to contribute meaningfully to an alien world, to bridge the gap between species through care and understanding. That night, as she prepared to rest, the child curled beside her, humming softly. Ilara reached out, letting her energy flow in quiet pulses that matched the child's rhythm. The city around them seemed to join in, soft waves of light moving in gentle harmony. For the first time, she truly felt part of Lunara, part of its people, part of a story bigger than herself. This was more than science or exploration. It was connection, empathy, and the human ability to bring calm, understanding, and trust to the unknown. She knew the coming days would bring more challenges, more lessons, and more opportunities to test her patience and understanding. But she was ready. She had already proven that a human heart could reach across species, soothe another being, and create bonds that could last a lifetime. And as the twin moons rose once again, casting soft silver light across the crystal towers, Ilara allowed herself a quiet thought. Humanity, in its care and empathy, could shine brighter than any star, even among the most advanced worlds in the universe. The next morning on Lunara was brighter than usual. The twin suns cast long golden rays across the city, illuminating the crystalline towers in shifting patterns of color. The air was alive with quiet hums and pulses, as if the planet itself had sensed that something important was about to happen. Ilara woke to the soft hum of the child beside her. The small being stirred, blinking its glowing eyes at her with curiosity and delight. Ilara smiled and mirrored its pulse, letting her energy flow gently in response. This morning felt different, though she could not yet say why. Lysara arrived quietly, her presence as calm as ever. "Today," she said, "you will face a challenge. One that will test not only your patience but your ability to guide more than one heart at a time. The children are restless. A phenomenon is approaching that may disturb their energy. You must help them find balance." Ilara's eyes widened slightly. She had never guided so many at once, and the thought of a disturbance worried her. I will do my best," she said. "You already have shown your best, human," Lysara replied. "Now we see if your heart can reach beyond one child, beyond your comfort. Trust yourself. Trust them. Trust the energy." The disturbance arrived as a shimmering wave of light and sound sweeping across the city. It was subtle at first, like a ripple in the air, but quickly it grew stronger. The children began to pulse irregularly, their energy flickering in bursts. Some cried out in quiet hums. Others clutched at each other, seeking comfort. Even Ilara felt a strange tension in the air, her own pulse responding instinctively to the waves. Lysara stood beside her, calm and steady. "Do not fear. You have guided one heart. Now guide many. Connect, harmonize, and soothe." Ilara took a deep breath, closing her eyes. She focused first on the children nearest her, matching their rhythm, sending waves of calm. One by one, she reached them with gentle pulses of energy. Some responded immediately, their colors softening and brightening in steady patterns. Others were more resistant, their energy chaotic, flickering like tiny storms. She remembered what she had learned with Lysara's child: patience, empathy, and presence. She let her mind quiet, letting her heart feel rather than think. Slowly, she moved through the children, her pulses spreading like ripples on a pond. She could sense which child needed more attention, which needed less, which simply needed to be heard and recognized. The disturbance grew stronger, and a few children's pulses surged erratically, causing waves that affected the others. Ilara felt a wave of panic rising in herself, but she forced it down. Panic would only worsen the energy. Instead, she focused on her breathing, on the steady rhythm of her heartbeat, on the warmth of trust she had built with the first child she had calmed. Gradually, she began to sense a pattern in the chaos. The waves were not random. They followed a rhythm, a pulse connected to the planet itself. The children were responding naturally, but needed guidance to synchronize with the new rhythm. Ilara let her energy flow in gentle waves, matching the subtle vibrations of Lunara, guiding the children toward harmony. A small child floated toward her, its pulses wild and flickering. Ilara reached out, letting her warmth flow into it, her rhythm steady and reassuring. The child's energy slowed, its bursts softening into gentle arcs of light. She smiled, feeling a small victory, and moved on to the next. Minutes passed like hours. She moved from child to child, adjusting, responding, guiding. The disturbance continued, but Ilara's steady presence began to calm the chaos. Slowly, the children's energies began to harmonize, their pulses forming gentle waves that interlocked and flowed. The city itself seemed to respond, the light of the towers shimmering in quiet resonance with the children. Lysara watched from a distance, her expression serene but filled with pride. See what a human heart can do, she whispered to herself. Empathy and patience. Your strength is remarkable. Alara paused for a moment, sensing the collective energy of the children. It was no longer chaotic. Their pulses moved like a single organism, flowing with quiet harmony. She realized that she had not only calmed them individually, but had guided them to connect with one another. The lesson was clear. True guidance was not about controlling, but about fostering trust, connection, and understanding. The child she had first calmed floated up to her, wrapping its tiny hands around her wrist. Its energy pulsed in gentle waves, a message of gratitude and trust. Alara felt a warmth in her chest, a joy that surpassed any scientific achievement. She had bridged a gap, not with technology or force, but with care, patience, and empathy. Lysera approached, her presence radiant in the soft light of the twin suns. You have done more than calm the children, she said softly. You have guided them to harmony. You have shown that humanity's greatest strength is its heart. Alara bowed her head slightly. It was not me alone. The children. They allowed me to guide them. They trusted me, and that trust made everything possible. Yes, Lysera said, smiling. Trust is the foundation of all understanding. You have proven yourself capable of leading with compassion, of connecting hearts across species. That is rare in the universe. Alara felt a quiet pride, not in herself, but in the bond she had created. She had come to Lunara as a visitor, a scientist, an observer. Now she felt part of something greater. She was a bridge, a link between humanity and an alien world, showing that connection, patience, and empathy could cross even the widest gaps in the universe. As the disturbance faded, the children's energies glowed softly, steady and peaceful. They played quietly among themselves, their laughter silent but felt in the gentle pulses of light. Alara sat down beside them, letting her energy flow in gentle waves matching theirs, feeling the quiet joy of shared connection. Lysera joined her, placing a hand on her shoulder. You have done more than you know, she said. Your actions today will be remembered not only by us but by the children whose hearts you touched. You have shown them patience, empathy, and courage without words. Alara looked at the child beside her, now glowing softly with calm energy. I never imagined I could do this. It feels like I found a place where being human matters in ways I didn't understand before. Lysera's eyes glimmered. It does. Humanity carries gifts that even the stars themselves recognize. Your ability to care, to understand, and to guide through empathy is rare. It is what allows bridges to form between worlds. Alara smiled quietly. She had faced the challenge, guided the children through a natural disturbance, and discovered something profound. Humans were not only observers or explorers, they were capable of creating harmony, of connecting hearts, and of teaching even the most advanced civilizations the value of patience and care. As the twin moons rose over Lunara, casting silver shadows across the crystalline towers, Alara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had faced her first true challenge, and she had succeeded not through force or knowledge, but through humanity itself, through heart, understanding, and presence. The child she had first calmed curled up beside her, humming gently. Alara mirrored its rhythm, letting the warmth of trust flow between them. The city hummed in quiet harmony around them, a living reflection of the bonds she had helped nurture. Lysera's voice, soft and steady, spoke once more. Rest now, Alara, you have done well. Tomorrow will bring new lessons, new experiences, and new connections. But tonight know this, your heart has made a difference. You have shown what it means to be human among the stars. Alara closed her eyes, letting the gentle waves of energy wash over her. She thought of Earth, of her colleagues, of the long journey that had brought her here, and she felt a quiet certainty. Humanity had a place in the universe, not through power or conquest, but through care, empathy, and the ability to reach across differences to connect hearts. As she drifted into sleep, the child resting beside her, she smiled. The journey was far from over, but she had learned something invaluable. A human heart, when open and patient, could shine brighter than any star, even on the most alien world. The morning sun of Lunara rose slowly, bathing the crystalline towers in gentle light that shimmered across the city. Alara awoke to the quiet hum of energy flowing through the pavilion. The child she had calmed days before lay beside her, its tiny hands reaching instinctively toward her, a small pulse of light greeting her like a heartbeat. today felt different. She sensed it in the rhythm of the city, in the gentle waves of the children's energy, and in the calm presence of Lysara, who waited patiently for her arrival. "You are ready," Lysara said as Alara entered the central plaza. "Today we offer you a choice. You have shown patience, empathy, and understanding. You have guided hearts, not only of my child but of many. Now it is time to decide where your journey continues." Alara felt a flutter of anticipation mixed with uncertainty. She had not expected a choice so soon. What do you mean, my queen?" she asked softly. Lysara smiled, a calm and serene expression. "You may remain on Lunara with my people as a teacher, a guide, and a student. You may share your knowledge, your understanding, your humanity, or you may return to your world, carrying what you have learned here, bridging our peoples through your presence among humans." Ilara took a deep breath. The idea of leaving the planet, leaving the children and the queen, tugged at her heart. Yet she knew that her journey on Earth was not complete, that humanity might one day need the lessons she had learned here. Lysara extended her hand. "The choice is yours, but know this. You are already part of our story. Whatever path you take, you carry the heart of Lunara with you." Alara approached the child, who reached out with tiny hands, its soft pulses of energy brushing against her. She mirrored the rhythm, letting warmth flow between them. It was trust, gratitude, and a bond that transcended words. She realized that she could not leave this connection behind. Yet she also felt the responsibility of sharing this understanding with humanity. She looked up at Lysara. I think I understand. My place is not just here or there. My place is wherever I can connect, wherever I can teach and learn. I want to stay, to be with you, to continue learning and sharing. But I also want to carry this back to my people, to show them what is possible." Lysara's eyes glimmered, reflecting pride and understanding. "Then you shall be both. You shall remain here as my envoy, my student, my guide among us, and also as a bridge to your people. Your humanity has proven itself worthy, not by force, not by knowledge alone, but by heart." Ilara felt a wave of relief and joy. She had never imagined that her patience, empathy, and ability to connect could lead to such recognition. The children gathered around her, their pulses of light forming patterns of welcome and celebration. Even the shy ones approached, drawn to the calm presence she radiated. Lysara placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You have shown what humans can achieve when they embrace patience, understanding, and care. You are a teacher not just of knowledge but of harmony. Your presence here will shape the hearts of our children, just as you have shaped their understanding." Ilara knelt beside the child she had first calmed. Its energy pulsed gently in rhythm with hers, a small wave of connection that made her smile. "I promise to continue learning, to continue guiding, and to continue sharing," she whispered. The child's light brightened in response, as if understanding every word. Throughout the day, Ilara toured the city with Lysara and the children. She observed lessons, shared her human perspective, and participated in exercises that strengthened the children's understanding of harmony and empathy. The Aelurians watched her with quiet admiration, recognizing the unique way humans could connect through emotion, intuition, and care. Ilara felt a deep satisfaction she had never known. Her role here was more than scientific. It was personal, meaningful, and vital. She was helping to build a bridge between worlds, teaching the value of patience, empathy, and understanding across species. And she was learning from the Aelurians in ways she could never have imagined. As evening approached, the city glowed softly under the light of the twin moons. Ilara and Lysara stood on a terrace overlooking the crystal river that wound through the city. The reflections of the towers shimmered in the water, mingling with the soft pulses of the children's energy that drifted faintly through the air. "You have chosen wisely," Lysara said, her voice calm and musical. "You have embraced not only your place here but your responsibility to your people. The bond you have formed with my child, with the others, and with our world will last beyond your lifetime, if you allow it." Ilara nodded, feeling the weight and beauty of the moment. I will honor this connection, and I will carry it forward wherever I go. Humanity has much to learn from Lunara, and I will do my part to share it." The child beside her reached up, placing a tiny hand on her cheek. Its pulses of light intertwined with hers, creating a warmth that filled her heart. Ilara laughed quietly, feeling a joy that was simple, pure, and unspoken. This was the essence of her mission: connection, understanding, and care. Lysara watched them, her expression unreadable, yet gentle. Your humanity has shown us something precious. It is not your strength, not your knowledge, but your ability to feel, to understand, and to act with compassion. That is the greatest gift a species can offer to the universe. Ilara looked out over the city, seeing children playing, learning, and harmonizing their energies. The towers reflected the soft light. The air pulsed with gentle music, and the city itself seemed to breathe in quiet rhythm with the hearts of its inhabitants. She realized that this was more than a lesson in science or culture. It was a lesson in life itself, in the power of empathy and understanding to shape the world. The night deepened, and Ilara and the child returned to the pavilion. She lay down beside the small being, letting her energy flow gently with its pulse. She felt the trust, the connection, and the warmth of shared experience. The city outside hummed in quiet harmony, a living reflection of what humans and Ailurians could achieve together. Lysara's voice echoed softly in the room. Rest now, Ilara. You have proven yourself in ways that matter most. Your heart has reached across species, across differences, and created understanding. That is a legacy that will endure. Ilara closed her eyes, letting the gentle pulses of the child in the city lull her into quiet reflection. She thought of Earth, of the people she loved and respected, and of the lessons she had learned here. Patience, empathy, and understanding. These were not just qualities of the heart, but powers capable of shaping worlds. As she drifted into sleep, she felt a quiet certainty. She had found her place not just on Lunara, not just among the Ailurians, but as a human capable of bridging hearts, teaching connection, and showing that even across galaxies, humanity's best qualities could shine brighter than any star. The child stirred slightly, pressing closer. Ilara mirrored its gentle pulse, feeling a bond that could never be broken. She knew that tomorrow and every day after, she would continue to guide, to teach, and to learn. The path ahead was open, filled with discovery, understanding, and connection. And in that quiet moment beneath the twin moons of Lunara, Ilara understood the deepest truth she had discovered. Humanity's greatest power was not its technology, its strength, or its knowledge, but its ability to care, to empathize, and to connect across all boundaries. Lysara appeared at the doorway, her presence calm and serene. Sleep well, human. The future awaits, and you are ready to meet it with heart, wisdom, and courage. You have become part of our story, as we have become part of yours. Together we will shape a future where understanding and compassion guide the way. Ilara smiled, closing her eyes fully, feeling the gentle hum of life around her. The child slept peacefully beside her. The city pulsed in quiet harmony, and the twin moons glimmered above. She was home, not just on Lunara, but in a universe where humanity's heart could truly shine. And as she drifted into dreamless sleep, she knew that she had found something extraordinary, a purpose that transcended planets, species, and even time itself. The human heart, she realized, could touch the stars.